Word 2013, Unit F, Finalize Page Layout. Well, we've done all of this work. It's finally time to finish creating the illustrations for our document. It's time to fine-tune the position and formatting of our text and the graphics that we've created on each page. So let's go ahead and turn on our Show Hide formatting marks. And let's see what we have. We have 3 pages. We can get rid of, by the way, the extra space in between pages 2 and 3 by simply double-clicking to hide it. That brings it up just a bit. Now let's select when is the best time to visit Mexico. Let's select actually not only that, but the chart as well. We can click the Insert tab on above our ribbon. And let's put all of this in a text box. So if we're going to do that, you may recall we have to go to the text box feature in the text group and choose Draw Text Box. So now both that text and our chart are placed in the very same box. Now we can click our chart object here. And let's go to the Home tab. We want to center this chart inside of that little text box. That looks pretty good. Let's also double-click our text box frame and let's change the size of this entire little box. So I'll go over here to height in my size group and I'll change that to 4, come down to width and change that to 4.65 and hit enter, and you can see the change it makes for my text box. Let's get a different view of our pages. So let's go to the View tab, and for our zoom, let's go to multiple pages so we can see all our pages again. We can double click our text box and let's change the position. Right now it's at the top of page 3. Click that position button and choose position in bottom left. So now instead of 3 pages we have only 2. Let's also click the Layout Options button and here's that button. Sometimes it's closer to the actual text box. And we'll click See More. The next thing we want to do is go to our text wrapping, and we want to give ourselves a bit more distance. If you look at the very top of my chart, when is the best time to visit Mexico? Notice there is not a lot of space between this text box and the text above in the paragraph. So let's add a bit of distance for ourselves. Let's come down where it says distance from text and top. Let's choose to move this up 3 times. And watch very closely to see what happens with the text box and the paragraph. We'll go ahead and click OK. And so now you see we have quite a bit more room. Let's also click the More button in the Shape Styles group. And let's choose a style. We're looking for Subtle Effect, Blue Accent 5. That looks pretty good. So we've increased the distance of the text wrapping above the text box, and we've also applied a style. Let's go ahead and get rid of these formatting marks. So I'll go back to my paragraph group, turn off my Show Hide feature. Let's also go to View and change our view to 100%. Makes it a little larger, as you can see. And let's also add some grid lines. Now, grid lines are nice if you need to arrange objects on a page. So now that we have our grid lines, Let's come over here and double click our pyramid drawing. And let's drag it down beneath our paragraph. Let's also make this image a little smaller. Make sure I click the outside here. I'm going to hold the Shift key with the goal of keeping it square. And perhaps I'll center it just a bit. In addition to using the mouse and the left mouse button to move it, I can also use the arrow keys on my keyboard to move it. And that can allow you to make much more precise moves. So I've kind of positioned it here. Now let's add a text box that will include our name. So let's go to the Insert tab above the ribbon and find the, well, and actually let's do this another way. We can either add a text box by going to Shapes under Illustration, or we can go to Text Box, and this is one way of adding a text box. So either way works. I think I'll go ahead and do it under Shapes. And now I'm going to draw a little text box here. I'll type in it contact and put my name. Make sure that's select my little box. I'll come up here to Shape Styles and click the More button. I'm looking to provide a field for my text box, colored field, green accent 6. That looks pretty good. Don't forget, you could add all kinds of other looks to your text box if you chose to do that. No need to keep this grid line look now. I can go ahead and turn this feature off by going to the View tab above the ribbon, turning off my grid line, and that works pretty good. And let's say that's it for Word 2013 Unit F, Finalize Page Layout.